Hello, hello.
Hola.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the wires. How is everyone doing?
I am just
Sorry,
peachy.
a series of tubes, not wires. That's what the internet is.
Mm.
The
Hey, everyone.
internet as we know it. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, not too bad, So thanks everybody for watching and tuning in. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, it's Monday morning again. Well, morning somewhere in the world, and we're back with another edition of Week.init. We're starting the week the right way. Well, you had coffee. You had coffee, so that's a
I
good
haven't
start.
yet. It's still too hot.
Okay.
I gotta say, Star Wars, I got a bone to pick with you. I mean, this mug is great and all, but it seems like most people are right-handed, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
You would think you'd want the beautiful picture facing towards everybody.
No, it's personalized. It's for you to see it. It's for everyone to see the advertising.
Yeah, and then they can see the. Well, I mean,
Yeah, they want the word Star Wars out there more than the actual images.
Yeah, but you know what? The Vonage mug is the same way. I like the Vonage mug better, but the logo is only on the side facing me.
Yeah, it's the other way actually for me. It's I'm usually right-handed, so I put it like this. So yeah, you see it yourself. You don't need others to see it. So
yeah,
it's undercover.
See, GitHub has it right. They put their logo on both sides.
Yeah, it's like that thing with it's like with the badges in a conference, and I always pick a bone with organizers because it should be printed on both sides. Inevitable when you speak with someone you don't know the name. It's just flipped the other way.
Around.
Yeah. So you don't know who you're speaking with.
Yeah.
Greg is left-handed.
That explains a lot.
This is not really an office. This is like a spare bedroom. And
I didn't say it was bad.
I will be doing more van shows at some point. I just gotta set it up.
Yeah, the coding van. How are you, Luke? Luke is with us as well. Hey, Greg.
Hey, Luke.
So I'm not sure if you saw it earlier. You know, we have that internal system, Geekbot stuff. Is it called Geekbot? But the daily stuff we put up, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Greg actually, and I love this about Greg because it's just he's the most positive person I know. Probably he even say happy morning to the bot, and I thought such a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
you're
that's
so
true.
positive. You just kind of you're full of joy.
That's what you meant with it. It's sickening.
No, I didn't actually. I didn't go that way.
It's like being beat over the head with a rainbow.
We need to have more coffee, and then you'll appreciate it, Michael.
That's right. Sorry, Greg. Take no offense. I need coffee.
Hey, Jay Walter and TBD Gamer. All right.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hiya.
Hope you chaps have a good morning. Greg doesn't like coffee. That too explains lots of things.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know him anymore.
Yeah. Greg lives on Diet Coke. I'm not sure if that's a life, but
no, that's no way to live at all. That's terrible.
You effectively eat bad stuff. Well, drink bad stuff. I don't think Diet Coke has caffeine. Does it? Does it still have it like normal Coke has?
Well, it looks like I guess.
I think so. I think so. I think you can get diet caffeine free, but diet by itself is caffeinated.
So diet caffeine free is might as well
just naturally produce it now. I guess he's drank so much. It's just he just naturally produces caffeine and just happiness.
Yeah, exactly, and that's kind of the ideal, right? You don't need external stuff to make you happy. Just the happiness oozes out of you.
I secretly want him to be like a big Mountain Dew drinker, just so he can go around saying, "I'm all hyped up on Mountain Dew, Chip." But
I think that's a very American thing. The Mountain Dew.
It is. Yeah, is it American thing? I guess it is.
We have it here, but it's not that popular. You have that the green fluorescent bottles. That's how you tell it apart. Yeah. Apparently, it's not nice. I think I had the Mountain Dew about a year ago. and didn't have it since. So that says a lot.
I used to drink them I used to keep a 20 pack in my desk drawer and drank them all day long. Went home and drank out of a 3-liter bottle. When I finally, I tried to quit because they were really messing me up. I tried to quit, and about 3 days into it, my wife came home with a 3-liter Mountain Dew. She's like, "I can't live like this. You are an absolute bear." So I started
That's
again.
not for what she used, right?
Yeah, no. And then, so a while later, I tried to stop again, and I cut it out just cold turkey. And for a solid week, I would get up and go to work, get off at 5, come home, and just go to bed. No dinner, no nothing. I mean, I was so exhausted for a good week. Headaches the whole time.
Withdrawal.
Withdrawal from all the caffeine because it's very caffeinated. And
Greg apparently is after you. He's going to come to America when COVID is a thing of the past. Good luck with that. Mike is with us as well. How are you, Mike? Mike is from the right Birmingham, not is from Birmingham.
Caffeine is not just a morning thing. That's true. Caffeine really doesn't affect me anymore, and I blame those overdoses of Mountain Dew that I had.
Yeah, it's just anything with caffeine after a while, it doesn't make a difference. It's just a habit. Yeah.
Annexon 604. Just streaming in the background. We'll pop out in and out, and have no idea what we're talking about. Neither do we. We're just making stuff up.
We're just making things up as we go along.
Yeah. So welcome.
Yeah. So what happened last week in our worlds?
In our world, in this stream's world, or in our world?
It's the stream is part of our world, so let's go to the general stuff and then go to specifics.
What did we do last week? Do you remember, Dwane?
Then we start with the conversation. We started creating conversations, I think.
No, I wasn't trying to get to that. I was trying to actually just kind of find more topics to discuss to avoid
you meant
going
the world.
to work.
You meant the world.
I did the world. Yes.
What else? I don't know what happened last week. What?
So the big thing for me is the new Macs that were announced. I'm not sure if you saw the announcement.
So did your wallet get lighter there, Paul? Or
no? The reason it didn't is because it still feels like a entry product, and the thing that sealed it for me was the fact that you can only use one external screen, and that's a limitation of the chip. So it's normal. It's version 1.
Is it priced like a version 1?
It is actually. It's not that expensive.
See, when you have to say that expensive,
expensive.
I'm I'm good. Thank you.
No, I mean, it depends what you want to get out of it. And usually when you look at the pricing, you kind of take into account the lifespan of that product. And I don't think the lifespan of those Macs will be that long. Mainly because it's first generation, they will be overlapped by a lot of other stuff. And it's a bit like when they did that 11-inch. Remember the MacBook 11-inch they had for a while? The first generation was pretty poor in performance. It was the small one.
Yeah. Screechrat says he was working on a project where he worked 70, 80 hours a week. That's insane, Screechrat. I was drinking a pot of coffee in the morning, a pot of coffee in the afternoon, and then 6 to 8 Mountain Dew Code Reds, which are like extra caffeine, in the evening. After a month, I realized that it was just not right. Yeah.
Sleep during that time?
Let's just say before that, he was just rat. After that, he was Screech Rat.
Don't do 70, 80 hours a week. It's not natural, and you're gonna burn yourself. And remember, whatever you don't sleep, you just borrow time. It will come back to haunt you. So just make sure you look after yourself and you look after your family, and whatever. Just don't do 70, 80 hours a week. It's okay to do it when you're young and you do it in a sprint for a week, but don't.
As long as it's not every week.
I wouldn't be able to do those hours now, not even for 3 days, let alone a week. But Greg has been developing on a Mac for about 10 years now, starting to consider migrating over to a Linux distro. Curious why you would want to do that, Greg.
I've been using on my personal projects. I've been using a Chromebook. So I have like a Chromebook Slate, and it has Linux on it. So I've just been coding on that.
Oh, Luke is going Windows, and Mike is considering going to Windows.
Welcome to the dark side. I've been on Windows my entire career. Actually, Vonage gave me this amazing laptop. It's a MacBook Pro. It's really nice, but I haven't turned it on since Christmas of last year. Because I don't take it when I travel. We don't travel anymore. I have no need for it. I don't want to fight that battle. I like my Windows.
I mean, you have a really good Windows machine, so it has more power, and especially for the streaming and a lot of video stuff that you're doing, it's more suitable for that. Absolutely.
I hear a lot of trash talking about like Windows is terrible. Windows is terrible to develop on. I'm really curious, what's different about it that make you want to go with a Mac or a Linux?
I think so. Before using a Mac, I was a Windows user as well. So that was probably 15 years ago. So I think I picked the last MacBook before they transitioned to Intel. So that must be 2005 or something. And the appeal for me was Windows at the time was really, really slow, and a lot of things were different. So I was using a lot of PHP and Ruby. It didn't have a Linux subsystem that it has now. And Mac was closer to what you would get in a kind of development in a server environment. That was the appeal to me. And before going to the Mac, I've tried lots of different things. I think Ubuntu was just starting at that time, but you couldn't get a lot of things that you would need in day to day. And like I was working for a marketing agency, and they had lots of clients emailing Word documents around, so you couldn't open that in Linux. So basically, it was a hinder. And with the Mac, you would have Office for the Mac, so it was easier to go that way. And it was just a better development environment. I mean, things have changed in those days, but
says he lives in Bash, and without WSL, he struggled to enjoy Windows. See, I never got into Bash. Like I don't use the command line in Windows, but I use PowerShell.
Yeah.
But I don't know what does it give me that the other doesn't,
Yeah. Luke, can you do something about that message that came? I think you have the rights.
It's already gone.
Thank you. Yeah, shiny. that's a good thing. I mean, it's a different experience, but I think the big appeal of ARM Macs is the fact that you will be able to run any iOS or iPadOS apps on the Mac without any change. Basically, it's the same structure.
So basically, if I switch to a Mac, I can still use the same VS Code that I use on Windows. Technically, PowerShell lives on the Mac now, so it's cross-platform, so I could use PowerShell. So basically, the benefit for me is now I can play Clash of Clans on my Mac instead of my phone.
Yeah. Good enough, right?
Well, if that ain't worth it, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, if you're doing like iOS development, you pretty much have to have a Mac.
No, sure,
yes,
yeah. And that's why, yeah. And when I came on at Vonage, they were like, "Do you want a Windows or do you want a Mac?" And I was like, "Well, I've got Windows. Like I use a Surface when I'm sitting on the couch, and I use the PC sitting here. But I was like, give me a Mac because I will be doing some Mac development, and I'm going to need that just for that." Yeah. That should tell you how much Mac development I've done this year, and the fact that it hasn't been turned on since Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, probably you will get to do some stuff when you go into cross-platform things, just to test things. But for that, you will need a Mac, and that's kind of a requirement there. But cool. Okay, so shall we do some actual stuff?
Oh, we got to work. Okay.
Is your coffee ready, Michael?
I'm halfway through the coffee now.
Okay.
I can set it down for a minute.
Some code. Yeah. So what did we do last week?
Like Dwane just informed us that we started working with the conversations. I didn't remember that, so I'm glad Dwane does.
That's what I'm here for. That's pretty much it. I did my part. I'm good.
Well, hey, Laura.
Hey, Lolo.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, when I have something, I promised you something last week, remember? And you told me it's not going to happen. So,
raise.
No, that's that. Yeah.
Different call. Sorry.
Sorry, you took me by surprise there. By complete surprise. I have a version of Conversation View 3 Open API spec that you can actually have a look at. So let me send it to you in the teleprompter on Slack. Okay. I mean, and you can load it up and have a look at it. It's actually so anyone can go and look at it.
Can I show this on screen?
Yeah, of course. It's API specs is a public repository that we have, right? So everything we develop is in public, and this is just a deployment to Heroku of a PR.
Yeah, and this is not version. This is showing us version 3's endpoint. That's not available on the main site right now, right?
It is available. It's not deployed entirely, as in the sense that we still need to make some tiny changes to some things. It's not communicated to anyone yet, so it's something that we test at the moment. So you'll notice all the URLs have VO3 in them, so you'll be able to actually get the right responses.
What is that? A dark mode and light mode?
Yeah, I think it's. You see the V? You see the V there?
Yeah, I've never noticed that before.
Yeah. I think if you click it again, you probably go into dark mode. Yeah.
Yeah, how about that? Okay.
Yeah, but it's kind of semi-dark modes, right? So.
Yeah. That's okay. It's better than all light.
Yeah.
That's not following brand yet.
So the difference in compared to previous versions is the example responses have all the different states. And what's interesting is some of them. This is mainly due to
the different.
And if you go to member, for example, update a member,
okay,
you will see something even more interesting. If you click on 404, and that one and 404, because you have different things that can be not found. So you'll get different errors. And this is really good because we're going to use this open specs to generate some of the code for the server SDKs, for example. Right? So once this is complete, and eventually, I'm hoping this week I'll have time to put the webhooks in there as well.
I love that you show me all the different options so that I can.
Yeah, I mean, the reason they exist in there is because you get different types of errors for the same status. So there will be different ones.
Even the same, even just the codes. Like it's nice to be able to see these and go ahead and pre-program for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, like the 401 is an expired token, whereas 403 is provide a token. They're both unauthorized, but
I mean, the 403 can mean that is not valid, right?
Yeah.
Either not valid or not provided. It's missing. So, Luke is saying that it is not following the Brown guidelines.
Should be 25% margin around the V. Just saying. Oh, yeah. So, trying to remind myself where we're at here. We had create Vonage user. Let's go to like the very top of it. We had the Vonage routes and we had conversations and conversations new. And that's based on this doc over here.
Yep.
It's so bright. There we go. Thank you.
Nice.
Conversations. So we were returning this object. What was it? I think we had said we had gotten through. We had to get something done before we could test it. Do you remember that?
I think what we needed was to look at the members stuff. And we were saying that we're not going to do the full stuff where we get all the conversations and put them in the database and have a synchronization process going. Because when you list the conversation, for example, you need the members, which is a different call. So what we'll need to do is to do an n+1 calls, or 1+n, if you like, for a conversation. So you get the list, and then for each one, you'll have to go in and get a response for each conversation. And that will take longer, but it's fine for the purpose of this exercise.
Yeah.
And I think for the new, we said we're going to ignore the requirement for reusing the conversation if it already exists with those users.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to check. We're just going to create another one if it's happening, or avoid doing it in the first place.
Yeah. So we've got the get conversation members. We got create Vonage conversation where we got, looks like I've added some notes. Create members for this conversation. Yeah. And send back the convo mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
That seemed funny at the time. I wish I remembered what the mumbo jumbo was.
You need to do another. You need to do another API call to get the conversation, then pass that to the endpoint.
Okay. And then see create member. We've got to finish this out.
Yep.
So is that it? We just got to be able to create a member and then do this stuff here.
Yeah. Okay. So for create a conversation, I think we had the conversation thing working.
Yeah. So we need to create so if we have the conversation, it would be like, what did we say? It was like data. We can look at that spec. When you come back, conversation, create a conversation, you're going to send me a payload that looks like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do we want to send back out? We want to send something that looks like, we built a method for this, like build conversations.
Yeah.
Right. Conversations and the user ID. Conversations map the conversation, blah, 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 blah. So I just need to pass.
I think that's for the list of conversations.
Oh, it is. You're right.
I think what we need to do is we have the endpoint where we create the conversation. I think once we create the conversation, we need to use the ID of the conversation to add the users to the conversation.
Yeah. I'm going to change this to be I change this to be like this. Then here I can say return.
Oh, I see, because you'll have to reuse that for the other places.
Yeah, I'll need to.
But that's so that's a light conversation that you have there, isn't it? No, no, you're right. Sorry, I'm getting confused. Never mind.
Let me think about this. I can't do that in there. I need to say constant result equals something like that. We'll return result. Wait, what did I have? That was in a map. Okay. Return result. Then let's just say result equals, and then copy this stuff out of it. Yeah, that's what I really want. Right, yonder. Let's not return. So we'll go get the conversation members. Me is declared but never used. Why not? Are we supposed to filter them out? Oh, yeah, we do filter them out. Wait.
What does it say in the specs? Or?
We don't need that. Okay. Build conversation. So down here, when we create this, we'll say constant conversation equals response dot. What is it going to come out there as? It's going to send me back this. Does it come back in a data and all that?
No, that's the response.
That's just the body of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it just data then?
Yeah, data dot. I think it's conversation. No, data.id.
No, it's just data, right? When I go post.
Oh yeah, because you want to do a conversation. Yeah.
So it's going to send me back the conversation, and then I need to go create the members for this conversation. It says.
Yeah.
My amazing comments. So then for each one of these user IDs, I need to say user.
I think you have a create member method below.
I do. I'm going to say for each of those. User IDs is an array, right?
Yeah. It's what we pass from the API request.
And then I want to go create member conversation.id and user ID.
Yep.
And I need to await that. Is this an async? Yeah. So that's going to go create all the members.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess I need to go get the conversation again, or how does that?
Yeah. Because the create a member will just return the member for that, and you'll have different responses. So doing one big poll for the conversation will.
Is that getting them all? That's getting them all.
Yeah.
I want to go get one. So let me just copy and paste to get all. Say conversation ID. Get conversation.
You want to let conversation, right? On 90.
Thank you, sir. Build conversation. Where? Okay, let's see that get conversation. Get. I need 03 conversations and then the conversation ID. So conversation ID, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just going to send me back that conversation. So response.data is the conversation.
Correct.
And I didn't pass in user ID, so I need to. Okay. So that's going to go get me my conversation. So
Why do you need to pass in the user ID?
Because we filter out that person from the members.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes, you're right.
So down here, down somewhere, down where? Oh, here. Yeah. It's telling me that user ID is not used yet. Oh, it's gonna be. So we want to go say, really, we could say let conversation, right? And just redo it and say conversation equals await get conversation with conversation.id and user ID. Right. No, this is where I want Lavanage.
Yeah, and this is one of those times when it's amazing to do pair programming because we forgot a very obvious thing to do there.
What's that?
Add the current user to the conversation.
You should have done it here.
No, because that's the user IDs that you pass through the APIs, right? So you're in the context of a certain user. And you pass in that I want a conversation. So you're Alice, and I say I want a conversation with Bob and Charlie. You add Bob and Charlie to the conversation, but you need to add Alice as well, right?
So you're thinking when I send this in, I'm only going to send the other people in.
Yeah, because you have user ID and then user's ID. There is no reason to add it to the user's ID as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's push it in before we do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So that should send back the conversation built up with all this mumbo jumbo. Invited that, joined it, and all that. That's on the actual member, right?
Correct.
Excuse me, but this is That looks like it's on the wrong object, maybe.
No, because when you get the conversations, you get a list of members as well.
No, but I mean, like, look at this object, the UUID of the conversation, the name of the conversation, created at of the conversation, and invited at, joined at, and left at. Those shouldn't be on the conversation.
I think it should, because it's from the user perspective. So what the user sees as that conversation.
Oh, it would be like my
Correct.
those things. Okay. Yeah. So in that case, I need those, but I can say that's where I do need let me equal users dot find f dot something user underscore ID equals user ID. So that gets me.
Mm-hmm.
Then here, look at that payload that it's in stack. Me dot timestamp blah blah blah. Oh,
you need to filter to find the. So where is the users coming from? Get conversation members.
Yeah.
And what's get conversation members?
None of your business, Paul. Get conversation members calls out to conversation ID members.
You don't need to do that, because if you list the conversation, you already get the members in the conversation, so you don't need to do another call.
So where does this get called? Here.
Yeah, you already have it as part of conversation.members.
Okay, so then I don't need this to be async. I can just say users equals conversation.members.
Yeah, I would call them members because it's a bit easier to understand, and you have a user ID inside members.
Okay. But we call them users when we return them out.
Yeah, because that's from the user perspective, and we're using the name of a user.
Okay. And then, yeah, and then me timestamp invited and all that.
Yeah.
Where all do we call that though? We need to make sure. I didn't put async on that, so that's or wait, so that would have been a problem. Public conversation. Find all references. Right here. Okay. So then we don't use this method at all.
No, we don't need that because it's already in the
we send back that. So then in our routing, we've got conversations that's going to call get Vonage conversations. Get Vonage conversations is calling that endpoint, building conversations with the data.
There's a problem there.
Okay.
So the conversations that you have in data embedded conversation is what we call the light conversation, right? So for each one, you will have to do another call to get the details.
Oh, son of a gun.
So if you go to conversations, list conversation.
Okay, so we need like a constant light conversations.
Yeah.
This.
And you don't need no, because that build conversations is actually building the response, right?
No, you're right. You're right. Equals response. And then we need to do light conversations dot.
I think you need response.data underscore embedded, I think.
All right, this whole thing.
Yeah.
There's our light conversations. And then
then for each one, we'll need to do a call. This is the 1+n problem that we're having that you wouldn't do in a normal production environment.
Full conversations. And then light conversations for each What have we got? Await get conversation with com.id and user ID.
We don't need the user ID, I think, because you're just retrieving it. There's no need for user ID there.
It does, because it filters out the.
I think that's done in build conversations, not in get conversations.
The get conversation calls build conversation.
So in that case, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, never mind.
I'm sorry. Did you want to write this code? I mean, I can stop my screen share and let you code if you'd like to code, but
I'll shut up now, then.
I mean, it's your call. We'll go full conversations.push.
You'll have to make it a let, right? Let full conversations.
I don't have to let it, because I'm not changing the object,
the reference
into it. Yeah.
Okay.
It was an object, yeah, but because I'm just pushing into an array, the array can
return back the same thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like conversations for each, push it into. No. We don't even need that. We just say conversations. Push. In this case, we can even make conversations a const if we wanted, but like conversations for each, push into the conversations, go get that conversation detail.
Yep.
Has that got us? So then we got an endpoint for conversations that gets them. What the heck? What's the difference here? That's the same. I don't know why there's two versions of that. Conversations new. Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Hey,
Hi, Kevin.
Conversation new, which returns back a conversation.
Apparently, it is going.
Yeah, it's a Monday.
Hey, here too.
So, what were you doing with the light conversations then?
It's none of your business.
Oh, okay, cool.
With the light conversations, so the light conversations, I'm just for eaching them.
Yeah.
And then going and getting the full conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually does that build, like sets up all the members and everything, and then pushing it into that array of conversations and returning that.
Okay, you return it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so are we done?
I don't know. You're writing the code, so I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, we got a mod wall. Yeah, look at that. This is like mod. Screechrat talked to us in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
A bunch of swords. They're all sword fighting. There's thank you, TBD Gamer. Finally, somebody without a sword.
Yeah.
Let's build a conversation. Broke the mod chain. Godless life. Glad to have non-mods. Frankly, we don't like the people with the swords by their names. It's a secret.
They
Client SDK
or something. Exactly.
So that's create. Okay, so we got to finish out the create part.
You broke the mod wall, Shrat.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. But we will like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So we got all the conversation piece.
Luke is asking what's a client SDK. Who wants to answer him before I do?
Go right ahead.
It's a Vonage thing. And that answers the next question. What's a Vonage?
What's a Vonage?
Vonage.
I feel like I've already answered this question. Oh, you know what? I have. Hold on. I think I can tell you exactly what a Vonage is. Hold on one second. Please hold. The next available streamer will be with you shortly. Let me see if I can find what is a Vonage. In fact, it was shared on our last Hacktoberfest stream.
Age of Von.
That's right. So this was actually brought up at one of our last Hacktoberfest stream. Somebody asked in chat, what is Vonage?
Yep.
And this joker over here, Johnny Fever, decided to answer. So I'll let him catch you up with what is Vonage.
We don't have your sound, Michael.
Oh, you don't? That's okay. You are missing out, I'll tell you. Let me see if I can pipe that in. Where's my pipes? Where's all the tubes? Let's see. Bring this over here, and
we have trolls in the chat.
well, we always have trolls.
Yeah.
Jay Walter wanted to know if we're using right now the officially available version of the Conversations API.
Not yet. We're using an Edge version. It will be official fairly soon. We don't have a date yet. But we're using something that is the next gen thing.
Yeah, right now you've got to use like a combination of 1 and 2, right? Like
combination of what?
The .01 and .02, depending on what.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay, let me see if you can hear this.
Vonage.
Okay.
Ooh, the Vonage do the communication API.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay.
Vonage. Oh, the Vonage do the communication APIs. You dig? That's right. You want to add voice to your application? We got you. You want to add that SMS? Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey, you want some WebRTC, some video API? Oh, sprinkle it in, baby. You dig? We got them all. Go check them out. Hey, exclamation, sign up and chat. Learn more about it. You dig it? Yeah, you understand. That's right. Hey, you stay classy off light. Thank you for your question.
Yeah. That's what
that deserves an applause, another applause.
what Vonage is. So 0.3 mostly merges 0.1 and 2. Any other major changes? Jay, I think there are some other major changes. Like there's some standardization about the payloads.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's the main work. And also we have some things that are not even in that page yet that we're going to have in VO3. A couple of things is just to help the client SDK. For example, we'll have an endpoint for you to register devices for push notifications. And that will be part of VO3. It's mainly the major part of the work is tidying up and making the responses kind of uniform. So this is why we have this light and full object thing that we were talking about. So in the list, you'll have a light objects, and in the full thing, you'll have a full thing. Right?
Yeah,
so
I can show you that. It's like retrieve a conversation there. It gives you this big old payload with members and all this jazz. But if you go up here to where is it? The list.
Yeah.
200. You get this embedded like paging kind of thing, but you can see like the conversation itself is a lot smaller. It doesn't have the members and such.
Yeah, and we added some additional things like you can filter by a time range for those conversations. You can set the order, and you can get different page size. And I think the maximum is still 100. So you're supposed to go through those one at a time. This is mainly what we have in VO2, but we kind of refined that and made it a bit cleaner.
Yeah,
Yeah, so hopefully that answers your question, Jay Walter. If you need any help with that, just drop us an email. You can use my first name last name at vonage.com.
Yeah.
Waiting for your joke, Michael.
No, it's not a joke. Jason says the funniest thing about that clip is the range of enjoyment. I want to tell you that's exactly. I rewatched that clip a dozen times after that stream, and I was only paying attention to the other participants. And it was he's absolutely right. I want you to see this range. Let me get into like when it's going. You've got Yulia down here is like about to fall out laughing. Yvonne, Diana, same way. Paul's the same way. It looks like Martin's into it. Garen is having none of it. Lorna is like, is this seriously happening? Abdul is like, I'm not sure this guy should be on my team. Who let this guy in? You know, look at these wide eyes. Look at these wide eyes on Beth. Watch those eyes get really wide. Right there. She's like, are we allowed to broadcast this? Is this a TOS violation?
Yeah, I think it ranges from also it depends on the previous history that a lot of people have, because I don't think Beth saw any of your streams and any of the Johnny Fever kind of slow jamming the code thing.
Maybe not.
So for her, it was quite a shock. Well, for us, we knew what to expect, and it kind of went to full on nothing.
Yeah. Luke agrees. 100% is what Beth was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're thinking, did we just get banned from Twitch?
or did the kind of a corporate kind of decide to ban us from Twitch completely?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is this against brand guidelines?
Yeah.
Listen, if you put out a commercial like pineapple, what's it? Alligator pineapple igloo.
Oh,
we can handle some Johnny Fever.
Actually, we should play some adverts like you did in the Friday show that you had. Some of those ads, because I think some of those were really, really good, and it's a shame not to. It's a shame not to rerun them at some point.
Some people hate them. But I thought they were funny.
The first one with can't remember the one with the semicolons or the tabs. I can't remember which one was the first one, but he had in the very first show, the very first advert was really, really good. Probably stuck with me because I can probably find it somewhere in YouTube, right?
I don't remember.
We still have
the first show had it had the advertisement for Vim, and then had the
Vim one was
yeah, it was pretty good. That was a fun one. So yeah, the payloads are smaller on that one. You see how I brought it back around? That was terrible, but so then we got to go create a member. We're not doing that right now. We're doing this rigmarole, which is not right. So when we call, let's see, member, create a member, it's conversations, the conversation ID, members, conversation. Okay, that's right. We're passing in the user ID and then action of join. Is that right? Conversation ID, action of join. Is that not? Oh no. Okay. Hi everyone. Is there a way to show that as like required?
Yes, I think if you'll get a 400. Yes, it is required. I didn't add all the required. I know it's missing from there. I need to go through all of them and go through the required thing again. I didn't add it on all of them.
And this looks different than what we have. Like user, it's not user underscore ID. It looks like it's user.id.
It's yes, because you can pass either the ID or the name.
Yeah.
If you have user, you can join a user by name now in the conversation. Yeah, that's correct.
And then action join.
Join
not using channels. Joined.
Yeah.
Joined.
It's actually the status that you pass there, but yeah.
Let's see.
And that's all you need.
Okay.
I mean, you can put the channel type as the app, just to make it an in-app user, but it doesn't in-app member, but it doesn't make a huge difference. I think that's not required. I mean, try it and see what you get. I can't remember exactly.
You want channel type app?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And that's going to come back out with a 201 that looks like this rigmarole.
Yeah, and I think at the moment it comes back with 200. And it's on my no, it is 201. Sorry, that's a different endpoint. No, I've put the documentation right, but sometimes there's a couple of small issues with some HTTP statuses that I'm still working with the engineering to get them fixed, and that's why you're still it's developer preview, way before developer preview.
So I'm gonna get rid of that console derp. Vonage member equals response.data map, and then we want to return name is m.embedded user name user.name. Wait, that's wrong, isn't it? It's backwards. That's the name is actually the ID. Is that right?
The name is
name is display name, but there's something weird about that. username is name, and name
Correct.
is display name.
It's the display name, yes.
Okay, that would be a nice one to maybe refactor and make it a little more.
Yeah, I think so too. The state, you get the state from the response as well.
Yeah. M.state. Is that it? Is that all we need to send back there? We're going to send back. Where is the? Do we not have this in the documentation? We don't have members in here. This is scope creep, Paul. This is scope creep. Why did we even write this?
Sorry, I think we missed a message from Quantum BP in the chat. It says Luke is helping us there. Hello, hope you're having a good day. Got any tips on how not to feel like crap after getting a few bad grades? I think it makes me extremely sad because I spend all my time studying programming and not studying for school. I have some big opinions on this. I'm very, very kind of straight to the point. Grades don't matter that much as you think they matter. If you love programming, I think you will have a good future. And if you enjoy programming and if you study programming as in not studying school, I think you're doing well. Don't worry about grades. It's not the worst thing in the world. And
unless you're not going to pass.
Yeah, I mean, do you need those grades?
I think what level they are in what country, because I think at least in America, you're actually going to need like a high school diploma.
Yeah. If you're talking about high school versus college, that's high school would be like worry about your grades.
Do you think you still need those to get a programming job?
I think pretty much to do anything in like America, you need at least like a high school even if it's like a GED. Graduate equivalent.
So do you think if you're a good programmer, someone won't employ you because you don't have a good high school grade?
I think it'll be hard to get that first job.
Right.
I think if you've been developing
now,
for
if you
10
do
years,
like freelancing,
nobody
you have
cares.
like your own thing.
Yeah.
Then so it kind of depends, I guess, on what you would like to do.
Yeah. Quantum, let me give you a personal anecdote. I had good grades in school. I went on to spend too much time in school, and I ended up leaving it all behind. And it might sound like bragging, but I actually spent 8 years of my life studying physics, including doing a PhD, and got good grades. That doesn't matter at all. It probably did matter a bit when I got my first job because it was quite impressive. But it's something that I don't put out there on purpose because I don't like people calling me doctor or something.
Well, I'm only calling you doctor from now on.
I have a very good friend that his mom heard that I'm a doctor, and his reply. So he was sick, and his mom said, "Why don't you call your friend, the doctor?" And he said, "But he's not the kind that helps people." So that kind of says it all.
I can vouch for that. Paul does not help people. He's
I don't believe in this day and age you need good grades or you need to go and do a degree, university degree, unless you need that degree for other stuff like a doctor, like an architect, like I don't know, becoming a pilot or some sort of things that require that specialized training.
I would agree with Dwane though. It really depends on where you are. Like certain countries, you're not going to get it without a college degree.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably U.S. is less. Some parts of the U.S. though are very. I mean, certainly with like corporations, a lot of corporations here will require a degree.
I think at least like a high school degree.
Oh, minimal high school degree. Yeah,
kind of like a given. Like, because I mean, some folks don't have money to go to college. I mean, they want to go to college. They want to, start off early building something. So they don't go to college. They start doing their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I think since it's like basically free, pretty much, I think a high school or something equivalent is at least required.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm not seeing that message in our chat. Did I miss it?
It had a blocked term in it. So Luke banned that, but then like edited it to be a little nicer.
Right. Okay. Because I don't think I'm a mod, funny enough, on our chat. So I didn't see the message.
Mm.
Yeah.
Screenshot had to get a master's degree for the current job, but it's based in research and academia.
Yeah,
if you're in that, that's funny. That got held, Jake, but it was not that word. It was another related. Okay, so I think we're ready to test now, right?
Yep.
Like we've got these endpoints up here. If
I say tests as well.
Oh no.
No, tests are for people that make mistakes, right?
That's right. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to run and debug this.
Screenshot, I'm curious, which country are you doing your research? I mean, that's kind of universal. You always need a degree to do research anywhere in the world, but so if you use CR *P, USA, yes, I completely agree with you. Yeah, that kind of makes it makes sense. Are we missing something?
Yeah, let's see. Conversations push. Oh, wait. Oh, I need to wrap that, don't I? Okay. Is that good? You don't like it? You don't like it? Okay, you don't like it. Get Vonage conversation. Unexpected identifier. Go to definition. That is something. Heck.
Is it in a different context because it's in a lambda function?
I don't think so. Let's go
read conversation.
Constant C equals wait. Oh, dang it. Does that need to be async there?
Maybe. Looks like we're not the only ones having problem. Luke is trying to fix his Netlify build. He did some amazing stuff with Netlify. I think he reduced it from half an hour deployments to under 10 minutes or something ridiculous like that. It's amazing.
Okay. Oh, wait, only valid. Okay, so where do we call a create member? That's on line 155. Here. Same deal. We're doing that inside of this. It's got to be async.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, inside of the context. Yeah.
So that marks the whole thing as async. So the whole function that gets user ID.
Function, the whole function is async, but then each one of these have to be async. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do it for each, you need to mark each one as async. It doesn't know how to do it automatically. Oh, interesting.
It doesn't travel into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's basically a function there, right? It's creating a function instead of a function. Okay, we're listening on 3000. Cool. So if I go get conversations, my jot's expired. Oh, good. Okay, so I think I've got a login, right? Can I just call login? That's a hard note.
Send stuff, right?
No, it's the JWT that you use on the server. It's the admin JWT.
That's getting generated in real time.
No. That's the user JWT. You have
the user J. This is the user JWT here, right?
No, that's the admin JWT that you have in your server. Remember, when you do the JWT, you need to run it as an admin. Yeah. When you do the get users, when you pass that to the server, isn't that what's expired?
No, I think it's the local one. The one. This one, the one I'm passing my user one is expired. So I'm gonna log in. I've got a lot. Well, let me just sign up.
Oh, yes, because you use the private key. Yes, of course. Sorry.
Send that. There was an error with the database. Oh, good. Oh, did it stop?
Luke spent 2 hours making a Lego stage so a little Lego person can sit in front of my webcam, of his webcam. I saw it on Twitter. It's amazing.
Yeah, I did too. That's really cool. There was an error.
Taking geekness to another level.
Darn it. Why was there an error? Let's go.
Hashtag worth it.
Username is bhamrules4. Is this running? Okay. Send sign up. We hit a breakpoint. Find user failed.
Is your database going?
Well, I'm running in a container. It was supposed to fire it up. Didn't we have this issue last time?
I think so. You had to like restart everything or something.
One thing that we added just at the end of the last show, we added that extra field in the definition. So it might be that you need to reset the database entirely, because with that extra field, you might get an error because it's not the same schema for the database.
Yeah, I'm going to go delete those containers, and then I'll go delete the volume that had the data in it. Adios. And open it back up in code. There we go. There we go. Reopen in a container. That's going to spin up both containers. Fresh and brand new. Okay. And let's make sure that init script had the user ID on it. Okay. So run it in Node. Then try to sign up now. Oh, breakpoint. Let's go. There we go. Yeah, that was the issue. So there's my token. Now when I come over here and put in that user token, hit send. No conversations are returned, which would make sense because I'm not a part of any conversations, right?
Yeah. But you should have an empty array, right?
Let's see. Let's go breakpoint it. That's going to be in here, and it's what, get conversations. Is that right? Get Vonage conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Dang it! Just show me the method. Where's it? Where's it at? This one is the one I want. The one that I want. Hit send. Oh, it failed.
Because you don't have a user ID, I think. You don't know who the user is because you don't have a database. If the database got killed, so you need to create another user.
But I'm logging in as this one I just created.
Is that saving it to the database as well?
Should have.
Okay.
Shouldn't have sent it back.
Okay.
We're not even hitting that line. Let's hit here. Send it again. There we go. And the config is, it's got the admin shot in there. User ID is undefined. Okay. So then let's go look at our router and look at it here. I'll just continue. It'll fail. I'm going to call it again. Okay, I got this. My request should have a user on it. A user. The user has a sub with that. Oh, did we not add?
I thought we added the user ID to the GWT on login.
I thought we did too, but apparently I did not. That's the raw shot. We should be able to get it. See, it's coming here. Rec user ID is not defined. Let me. Okay, I'll stop it. Go back over here and say, yeah. Apparently I didn't. No, it's admin. Where's the user?
Yep.
User underscore ID. Maybe it doesn't like the underscore. I mean, it liked the application.
It should be okay.
Yeah. Go find all references to this. Maybe we didn't pass.
You missed an I in the user ID.
It's gonna be in like our sign up stuff or auth.
Unless the one you're passing in is actually undefined.
The one I'm passing in.
When you in the GWT method.
That's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm going to go look and see where is it that we're passing that in, because we should have gotten it right there. User.user ID. That's going to come out of here. Hey, Eggsy, good to see you.
Hey, Eggsy. Happy Monday to you too.
And go cancel the request. Is it still running? It's not. So let's run.
Do you store it as user ID in the database? Because that's the name of a field. You get it from a database.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check and see what we have there. Birmingham rules. I don't know. 6. Send. We should hit this. Okay, what do we have on user? User has name, status, a user ID, and username. What does user have? User has it's lowercase. Right there. That was our problem. We're sending in user capital ID.
Yeah.
The property is lower. Wouldn't it be nice if we had type safety that would correct that?
I don't think type safety will correct that, because that's the database name, right? So you'll have to define it as that name inside your
type safety. If you'd have made made it based off your model.
Yeah, sure. If you generate automatically, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we got that, came back. So now that object should have a user ID on it. So now I'll go plug in that token over here. Send. Jot. Let's see. There's our jot, but let me see. What does our... Dang it. Where's user? User. Application ID. User ID is on there. Okay. There, yeah, so we're passing it incorrectly now. Continue. Go get it. 200. Continue. Didn't get anything back. Did it didn't log an error, but it didn't send us anything back.
Oh,
all right. Well, let's not continue this time. Let's F10 and see. We got do we have data? We do. It has an embedded. It has conversations. Nothing in conversations. Because we did so we need to define an empty array here.
Yeah. I think Dwane has some issues with his connection, so I'm going to keep adding him to the stream once he comes back.
In or out, Dwane? In or out?
He's in.
Let's see.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Michael is saying in or out, not between.
Yeah. In or out. What my mom used to tell me. Okay, so that's going to return back an empty one. So then I'm going to copy this and call it new. And we called /new. Is that route? It's a post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a post, we wouldn't even need the new, right? You can do
That's
just
true.
post.
That's true. But I'm just following my specs over here.
Yeah.
Far be it from me to change.
You're allowed
and then
to
you need an
change
array of
it,
strings.
so,
This is weird though, because so how would the person be able to get users?
/users.
Did I miss that one? Oh, there is. Did we write that?
I think we might have.
Yeah, we did. There it is, actually.
Yeah, it was in the very first episode, I think.
Yeah, it's been so long ago, we don't know what we've done. Okay, so send that, and that's going to get us back a bunch of users.
Yeah.
But what do we need? We need their IDs, not their names.
So we can put the ID in there as well. You can add it based on the name as well, but we use the user ID everywhere, so might as well just add the user ID to the output.
Okay. So let's go find get users. Okay, we're returning this, so we need to also return user ID.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to update the spec now.
And scope creep.
Oh no, actually there is a user ID in the scope.
Is there?
It's user_ID. Yeah.
Oh, son of a gun. Okay. And that's going to be. Is it just m.id?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's.
Okay. Can we drop that new as well from the path?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Thank you very much.
And then come over here and send that. So now hopefully, oh yeah, there we got some user IDs. Muy bueno.
X is asking, what is the opposite of scope creep? Scope slurp? I think it's.
I don't think I want to answer that question. That's.
I think it's in UK we have this thing dumbing something down when you make it simple. But obviously, I think was it Einstein that said this, that things should be as simple as they could be, but not simpler than that. So.
Okay, so we're going to send in a user's. The body needs to have a user's object on it, right? Users. That's an array of string, right? Is that right? An array of strings containing the user ID. Yeah. So there's one. Let's go find another one. There's a Paul one. Conversation new. We'll add in. So we've got like one John Doe plus me. I'm a John Doe. Plus a Paul there. Is there?
There's Igor, Abdul, and Dwane.
Yeah, let's add in Dwane. All of us are in there. So let's add Dwane. Okay. Take off the new here. It's a post. Slurp sounds creepy. Yeah, I see what you did there. Calling that. It's running. Did it fail? It doesn't throw any errors. It's doing a lot though, right? I mean, it's calling out to create the conversation, and then it's also.
It shouldn't be that long, though.
For each the members to add them, then going and getting the conversation.
It shouldn't be that long. Can you list the conversations and see if you created it or not?
Yeah. Send. Doesn't appear so. Let's try and do it again. Let's. I'll set a breakpoint this time. Oh, we're not getting it. Oh, do I need to stop and restart it? Maybe.
Oh,
change that endpoint.
Can you go back to the?
Users is request.body. That should be request.body.users.
Yes.
Refresh it. Start it over again. Just do it. Sorry, I got a little wife aggro. Last week, if you remember, she got a ticket while she was taking my daughter to school while we were streaming. Turns out her amazing husband forgot to buy the license for the car. So we got to pay.
Amazing husband.
Yeah. So we got to pay about $350 for the ticket for the license, excuse me.
Right.
And then just shy of $200 for the ticket.
That's costly.
Sorry, kids. Christmas is canceled. Christmas is the drive you're going to get to take. Okay, it failed.
You're getting 400s.
It got something. Let's see. Send that again. Okay, and then let's step into it and see what has happened. We get that. We're going to call post conversations with the body. The body is that doesn't seem right.
The body is empty.
Yeah. Let's look at the documentation. Conversation. Create a conversation. It needs a name. I guess that's the only thing that's required, right?
Yep, just the name. But I think actually the name will be automatically generated if you don't specify one, if I'm not mistaken.
So you're saying none of them are required?
Yeah. Can you see what it gets as a?
Yeah. So it's okay that it's empty, as you're thinking.
I think so. Yeah.
It's F10. The status is 201.
Yeah.
Okay. Response.data, which is the conversation.
Yeah. So you get a con dash as the ID.
Yep. And then user IDs, we're going to push in our guy. So now user IDs has the 4. For each, we're going to create a member. Oh, we didn't. That's not getting awaited. Son of a gun. That's not getting awaited.
Right.
Let's F11 to that and see what's going on here. It's taking conversation ID and the user to go get the conversation. And does it get it? It does go get it. It will not have any members because we didn't wait for it to give us any members. F11 into that. Members
right.
was that. That means it's undefined. So then when we try to do a find here, we need to put an F on that.
Yep.
Okay. So first of all, if members do this rigmarole. Well, let's say if not members, then members equals an empty array. Or no, we can just do that up here, right? Equals conversation members or empty array.
Mm-hmm. But you should get an empty array anyway, because that's a property of a conversation, right? Unless you don't get
if it comes back null, apparently it's coming back null because there are none.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
I'll make a note of that, because we should have a structure there, even if it's empty, for this exact reason.
Okay, but that does, like, that's a bug. We fixed that, but that shouldn't have actually happened, right? Because we should be creating members before we call that.
But correct, yes. So we didn't await on those members. So I'm guessing, although we didn't await on those, did that create member actually get triggered at all, or is not?
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, like, let's let I equals 0. I is less than user IDs dot length I plus. Do something like create member conversation ID, and then user IDs I.
Interesting. So is for each actually using an enumerator, and it's not kind of going through the normal cycle? It's in a different scope.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's doing that. I'll tell you what it's not doing. It's not doing it right. Or it's not doing it like I expected it to happen. I won't say it's not doing it right.
Sorry, Dwane, I forgot to re-add you when you rejoined.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'll probably get kicked out again. My internet is not the greatest. I'm indoors. I don't understand why I'm getting such horrible internet. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, let's try it again. Should I set a breakpoint, I guess? Send. I'm going to leave that breakpoint. Get over here. Okay, so it should have created the conversation. There it is. It's beautiful. It has no members yet, of course. Mm-hmm. We're going to hopefully go through.
Nice.
There we go.
But you're still getting 400s for some reason.
Still getting what?
400s.
Oh, yeah. In the create member, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just hit continue there. And then I'm going to set the breakpoint here and call it again. All right. Let's F11. Vonage member. Constant body user ID is that. Okay. We're going to get the admin token. Conversations. Conversation ID. The API URL. Go. Error. What's the error? Failed to 400.
You should get a description in the message of the error.
Okay. Message. Request failed with status 400. That's not...
No. It's what type of error is it? You should have a type of that error.
It's a 400 or type. I don't...
Yeah. If you look under data, you have a lot of data.
Invalid input validation failure.
And then invalid parameter.
Parameters name state is required.
Is that the join thing?
It's not action, it's the state. Sorry, that's something that is messed up. We changed action for state in VO3. So you don't. That's why it's joined, because you specify the state, not the action that needs to happen to go to that state. So now you specify what state the user will be in. So that's something that I need to update.
All right. So if I just hit continue here, will it just work? No, it still failed. Let's see why.
So instead of the word action, you put state, and I think I'm dropping again.
Yeah. Change the action to state.
My bad. Yeah, I'm lagging. So.
You good.
Oh, no, now I got 200. Okay, so what is it doing? Does it have...
what status did it get?
I got a 201. But it's giving me... Okay, so embedded user has an ID and a name. It doesn't have all that data.
It has, but unless you didn't specify a display name for that user, it doesn't have one. So probably, I'm guessing that's what fails.
Data. Wait, member. Wait, dang it. Continue. F11. Go back in there. We're going. We got several of these we're going through. So if I come here,
it's 190. I think response.map. Response.data.map. That's what it fails.
There's data. And data is something.
Yeah. Can you go back to the code? No.
Data map M, and then m_embedded.user display name, m_embedded user name, and then m state. Does it have all that? Let's see. Data.
It doesn't have a state. It
does have a state.
Oh, sorry. It's m.state. Sorry, I thought you were going to embedded for state.
Yeah, m state. M embedded user has a name. It doesn't have display name.
Interesting. Okay.
But I wouldn't expect that to fail. I just expect it to be like, oh, map is not a function. The heck? Because that's not an array.
You can map over data because it doesn't look like it's an array.
Yeah, it's not. You're right. So I don't even need to do this. I can just say return Vonage. Oh no, response. What should say? Vonage member equals that rigmarole. Run and debug.
It's just curious that maybe we didn't set display names for. Actually, can we, if it doesn't have a display name, can we default to the name? Because we still need something in the name.
Go back over. I'm going to pretend it's going to work. Looks like it did.
Work.
So just continue, I guess. It failed there. Dang it.
Timestamp is undefined.
Darn it, Jim. Okay, let's hit it again, and we'll step into that. F11. It's going to be in that build conversation.
Yeah.
Let members equal that. Okay, members equals 0. That's bad.
It's an empty array.
Yeah, members didn't come back on that.
Okay, let's have a look, and maybe it's in a different. So you're getting retrieve a conversation. It's
Find conversations with the conversation ID.
Yeah, and you have response data, which you pass in.
Yeah, I'm gonna break point on that.
Yeah,
and see what it is. Yeah. Continue. There we go. Response data. It has no members.
Ah, that's interesting.
What? Why you have no members? Why you have no members?
Where's response data coming from? Sorry, I'm think I'm lagging.
It's getting the Big Daddy conversation. That's the technical name for it, the Big Daddy conversation.
So what's the conversation ID that you're passing in? Can you see that, or?
Yeah.
Like what's the actual value?
It's like CON something or other.
If you hover over it, should show it, right? Or
sorry, let me go back to where it was.
You know why it fails? Because the member is empty, so you don't have a me object, so you don't have a timestamps. So probably we should correct that, because that will happen anyway when you get a conversation with no members, right? So when you modify the conversation.
Go to definition. Build conversation. Go to that definition. Me, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's that stuff that doesn't exist. You?
Can I do something like this? No.
You're not in TypeScript.
You say I'm not in TypeScript?
Yeah. And you need a third parameter, right?
It's not. It's that. No, wait. Me equals undefined should be null, or that. There we go.
You need to do the same thing for invited at and joined at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
fine. That's not the main part of our problem is going to be like in this create member. For some reason that it's not creating it there.
But you're getting responses back of 201, right?
It sure seemed like it.
Interesting.
Let me because that's it's not sending back the status 201 response data conversation ID member state is joined timestamped has the joined that all looks kosher.
Yep.
Vonage member says name state joined username is used. Continue. All right, so we should have created all those members at this point.
Yeah.
If I step into this and call go get that conversation, response data has no members on it.
That's weird. And also it doesn't have
A past 10 conversations,
so it has property, it has numbers, so it is the right thing. It has the sequence number, so that means it has actually. That's really weird.
Did we find a bug? Let's see, conversation. We're getting a specific one, right? So get conversation comes back with this rigmarole on a 200, and yet it doesn't.
That's interesting, because I thought, let me just load the stuff that I was working on. Are you using the right paths? Just putting it out there.
The right paths.
Like in 0.3.
Yeah, I think I am. I think I've got that hard coded somewhere. Yeah, they all are going to VO3. How dare you question?
I know it happens every so often.
So what's in the response data? Can you just hover over response data?
Yeah.
Where's my?
It's not bringing back the members property.
Yeah.
Even though we successfully got members back on all those calls.
And they were set to joined, right?
I think that
yeah, they were. Yeah, their state was joined when it came back.
It might be my bad in that. Give me just 1 second. I want to double check something.
Let's. In the meantime, hey Dwane, I'll set a breakpoint on it, just so we can see. I'm pretty sure it came back with joined, but heck, as soon as I say that for sure, it won't, right? So response data state is joined. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Member ID.
The conversation ID looks right. The member ID, the embedded will have the user on it with John Doe 2. Birmingham rules number 5. Yeah, Birmingham does rule.
That's interesting. Members existed on Get Conversation in VO1, and I thought it existed in VO3, but it doesn't look like it does.
So then you do have to call that other endpoint to get members. Maybe.
Yeah, list members in a conversation. So you have it's effectively the same call that you have there, but instead of discarding the previous stuff you have on the information, you need to add what you're getting from members on top of it, because it's the same structure.
Wait, say that again. Sorry.
So we said in your code, when you go to the top, create a conversation, and then you add members, and then you get the conversation details that kind of override the previous conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You will need just to add it on top.
Add it to that object.
Correct. Yes, as a members thing. Yeah.
Okay. So if I go build a conversation, I can assume now in build a conversation that it will not have members. So I'm going to make that async so that I can add in the get for them there and spit them back out here.
Yeah.
Which means...
Although you shouldn't need to do 2 calls to get the members, but yeah. Seems to be the case. I'm pretty sure that's a bug.
Do I have that? Do I still have the get mem? Okay, I don't have that. So let's go. Where's that get conversation? Because it's very similar. Stick that down here in the bottom. I'll call it get conversation members, I guess. Members. Let's say response conversations, conversation ID / members. Right. Yeah. Needs that token. It has to have the conversation ID, and it's going to have embedded members. Those members have an ID, the embedded user. It doesn't look like it returns, though, Paul, the timestamps. It's coming back with the member ID, the state, and then the user, but not the timestamps on this.
It might be that I didn't get to update it yet, so it might be that you still get the timestamps. So you should have timestamps really, because that's information that's kind of
build a conversation with that. embedded, right? Embedded dot members.
I'm trying to get my my development here running so I can see if we get members inside conversations.
Oops, that's wrong. That's wrong. Not build conversation. It should just be members equals response.data.embedded.members. Yeah, and then up here, somewhere.
You are right. Yes, there are no members. That's really strange.
Be wait. Is it get conversation members? Conversation.id.
And you were right about the timestamps as well. They don't exist on the members.
Okay.
Which is really strange.
So we're going to update our doc to just take those properties off?
No, we're going to add them. So I need to get engineering to actually add it to the response.
Okay, so for now, I'm going to comment them out of our code.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we got getting the members, but those properties aren't going to be the same anymore. It's going to be where f dot embedded dot user dot ID.
Look, is saying you get mem ID and have to get profile from the app, I think. What do you mean get the profile? We have an embedded user now.
Retrieving an individual member, he means. You have to go get the individual member, and that does have timestamps on it.
Ah, right.
That's terrible. No. That's, man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
going back and forth.
Yeah, to be honest, in a live environment, you shouldn't do what we're doing now. Going for
that's true. You should be syncing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Get conversation members. Filter out not me's. Terrible is a polite way of putting it. Yeah, it just. Well, I guess it depends. Like we're not using it as intended, right? We're using it as kind of our. Although that's a good point, we're not using it as it's intended. We're thinking Vonage thinks we should be syncing this data, but we're using it as developers think it should be used.
Yeah, and we're testing the conversation API, so we're finding bugs, which is just.
There's a reason it's a 0.3.
Yeah.
So we can play with it and dog food it.
Correct.
And come back with improvements.
Hopefully.
And no guarantees. Okay, let's do this jazz. We can do it. Oh, please, let's do it.
Let's forget about timestamps for now.
I took them out. I just commented.
Because that you don't want to do that loop as well.
No, I didn't add that in. Yeah. Okay, so that. Oh, there we go. So UUID, the name. It doesn't have the display names apparently, so it came back with comma, chameleon.
We should have that loop on the button.
So this is the opportunity for Dwane and Paul in the background to be going. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to blame it on my internet glitching. So,
What did you say? Dwane? Can you sing it?
What? Huh? What?
Okay, but we're passing back too much on the users. We're actually passing back the member itself instead of the smaller little payload we want. Or no, do we want the full object?
Not really, because we don't care about the member. We don't care about the member ID.
We want a name, username, and state.
Yeah.
Okay. So where was that?
So on the
that was a build conversation. I guess we in that we could map it down.
Yeah.
Say members equals that dot map. Do this, make it a little easier to read. Return. What did we say? What was it?
It was username.
Name, username, and state. Name, username. I feel like we need to put in like a user ID there.
Yeah, we're probably gonna refactor it and put a user ID and name. Just gonna or username. Yeah.
And this is where we get into. Okay, so for each one of, dang it,
it's m.embedded.user.
Yeah. m.embedded.user.display name, right?
Yeah, or fallback to name.
That's right. User.name.
User.
Dang it.
It's user.
And then and it's dot ID. Yeah.
Yep.
And then it's just probably mstate, maybe. Yeah, mstate. All right. Okay. So restart that. Send it again.
Send it again.
Cannot read property user of undefined. The heck you can't. You can't. Where's that code at? Cannot read property user. Embedded. Did I type it wrong? Underscore embedded. Oh no, wait. Retrieve a member. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Members, and then members has this.
Yeah. It should work.
Underscore embedded with a user ID, name, and display name. All right. Let's set a breakpoint in there then. I'm not scared. Okay. What is that? What does it have? What is M? M has embedded. It has user. It has name. It doesn't have a display name, but it does have that name, and it does have ID. It doesn't have, it does have a state there.
That's weird. So where does it fail? Can you step line by line and see where it fails?
No, it won't step. But I can mouse over that, and it'll tell me what the values are. Dwane,
okay.
User ID, state. Those are all kosher.
So maybe it's not in there that fails?
Let's catch it here. Can you get through all four of them?
As I'm saying, maybe there's a problem with one of them. Maybe
it got through all of them. There they all are. Dwane, blah. Okay, let's F10 the heck out of that. Okay, we're gonna filter it by. Oh, this is where we're wrong because it's not embedded anymore because we've cleaned them down.
Yeah,
there is no dot unembedded embedded here, so it's just what did we call it? Just ID, user ID. Yeah. Go ahead and clean that one up too. Save that.
I don't think it's .user.id, is it?
Oh, it's underscore.
Yeah, I think so. Voila. I think you're muted, Michael. Is it me or?
Oh no, I can't hear him either.
Oh, okay. So it's not me. You're muted. Muted.
That's muted.
I'm not muted.
There you go.
Okay, here now.
I honestly was not muted. I just hit mute and then hit unmute, and I didn't do it.
You muted again. Something is not right there.
It sounds like maybe a cable because I heard like a little. Yep.
It's still analog at the end of the day.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I honestly didn't change anything.
Well, no, it could be like a wire because you heard like a little distortion before.
That's weird. I when you said I was muted, I hit mute and then unmuted it. Sounds like a reason to buy new stuff, Michael. Heck, better not. Listen, I mean, honestly, I've got in front of me is a Shure SM7B. Literally in arm's length is an AT2020 and a Rode NRGX 4 Plus. I'm up to my ears in mics.
maybe a new mic cable.
Oh, I've got tons of those too. I've got lots of XLR stuff.
I think you need a new office, Michael.
Start over.
Start over. Yeah. Just use the MacBook from your existing one.
That there are limits. There are limits. It was all fun and games till you mentioned the MacBook.
Fair point.
So that's working. That gave us back what we wanted.
Yeah.
Is there so now if I call conversations, I still didn't get anything. New office means new puppets.
Yeah.
I'm already dealing with what do I do with this puppet over here? It sits over here.
They can dress it up for Halloween. Just
it dawned on me.
Control it.
I didn't think it through because when I added all the IoT stuff into the head to control it, like it's not really like very removable. So like once you put all that stuff in there, it's not like you can like now go play with the puppet with your hand. You can't put your hand in there. There's all kinds of like servo motors and.
Yeah, but you can do it remotely, right?
Oh yeah. I just haven't built some kind of interface other than video. It sounds like a good prize for a college coder hackathon. The puppet, it would be a neat giveaway, but I don't think I'd give it away if I've invested way too much into that thing. So Get Conversations isn't working. Part of the family? No, it's not really part of the family. It just takes up space.
Can you see the response you're getting when you get conversation?
Yes, I'm going to go set a breakpoint in there and see where we're at. We go get it with the admin config. Response comes back with a 200. Data has it. It's got a ton of them.
Yeah, because you have lots of empty ones that we created.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's blowing up because of that. Light conversations equals data embedded conversations. There they all are. They're beautiful. Beautiful conversations. Okay, for each. I don't think we're. Oh, dang it. It's that stupid async. You dirty async. For let I equal 0. I is less than. Mm-hmm. Conversations.
Yeah, Ben, that's not what we're doing. I think that's a leftover from Lauren, and I don't know how to do it. I think you need access to Streamlabs.
Oh, Streamlabs, yeah. Yeah, I can change that. I just don't. I change it on the streams that I'm in charge of. I mean, I take care of my business, but
because you use Streamlabs, that's why.
I don't. I only use it for this.
So what do you stream usually from? Just OBS?
From OBS.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you stream from? Oh, you're talking about Streamlabs, the Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't. I use OBS, but I log into Streamlabs to change those bot commands.
I never logged in actually into Streamlabs.
So there's probably a. Okay, so they gave me a conv. Conv is not defined. You're darn right it's not. It's actually going to be light conversations. I log into Streamlabs just to change the commands, like the sign up link. Like I think the sign up command, can be like specified like per stream. You know.
Interesting.
So I go in there and change it. Like, I know the mistakes were made was like whatever the link is /MWM for that one. One more time. One more time. Okay, there we go.
There you go. Nice.
That looks
Lots
good.
of them. Lots of them with the same people, as we would expect.
Yeah.
But
we have conversations with ourselves.
Yeah. So I think
Awesome.
So I guess are you client people able to take this and run with it?
I think so. I might even, while you eating turkeys and stuff, people on the other side of the Atlantic, I might do a Ruby version of this just for the heck of it. Because I think this is nice, but maybe we should have that synchronizing thing happening. So maybe, yeah, it's still to be decided what you're going to do next week. But yeah, baby got backend, lol. Yes, we did, Luke.
Right.
So I'm hoping by next week to have the webhooks documented, so that way we can maybe use the webhooks and do some stuff directly in the database with some synchronization stuff happening. That'll be interesting to get it going.
Well, I just pushed up a commit. JS is good to go. Ruby = bad. So do you want me to want me to PR this?
Yeah, let's PR it because we done with it, right? Virtually, apart from the member stuff, but I think it's missing something in the APIs. Yeah, let's PR it. Baby got some Node backend.
We done did the do.
Best commit ever.
And made sure to not do the don't.
Yeah. And not do any doo-doos.
Yeah. Paul, it's a family-friendly stream. Yeah.
We didn't put the label, so we're good. And also doo-doos is fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Doo-doo's fine. There you go.
It's, you have your to do list, right?
Okay.
Oh,
there you go.
As a reviewer. Awesome. More work for me. Thank you, Michael.
So basically, I can go on vacation early. I'm done.
Yeah,
I have provided value.
Yeah, it's quite interesting for me to see how it is done in JavaScript. I never seen a system doing all the the async stuff and a lot of API consumption from a script that is used as an API.
So how would you normally do it?
In Ruby.
So what you're basically saying, you said, I think, it's interesting to see it done in JavaScript because it was cool to see the async. But what you were like translation, because if you don't know, Paul is originally from Romania. So just translation for those of us in the States. It's nice to see it done the right way versus done in Ruby.
I mean UK. We drive on the left, so it's on the left way. No, it's no. I think what's interesting for me is how close JavaScript is to, and kind of all the programming languages come together. Swift had a proposal a couple of weeks ago to add the async await, exactly the same structure, and even the for each works in the same way. So we have now in Swift UI we have a for each that works for views, and it's exactly the same thing. It works in a different context, so it can't do async await because it's on a different thread, right? Yeah. So it's really interesting to see all of them converging and kind of.
And C#'s the same way. C# does the same fors, the same async await.
Yeah. So it's good to have the same syntax in a lot of places as long as it means the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, makes it easy to transition.
Exactly. Well, that's all, folks. That's what we had time for today, and we did it bang on time. That was really good. Luke is off to some coffee. Good luck with the coffee, Luke. Just don't burn your tongue. Make sure it's appropriate temperature. I guess we'll see each other next week. Well, some of us, some other of us are eating turkeys and whatnot and celebrating things. Happy Thanksgiving to all of those on the other side of Atlantic. Have a good time off. Have a good rest, I guess. And any final thoughts before we go into the night?
No, I'm good.
I think it went well. So thanks everybody for watching, and thank you all for working on this. Getting the back end ready for us. So thank you, Michael.
Enjoy. Can't wait to watch you guys do the front ends. Finish up the front ends.
Yep, sounds good. Awesome. Thank you once more, and thank you everyone in the chat. It's been amazing to see so many of you and chatting and asking us questions. I think we enjoy talking about other stuff and coding, and that's good. We will see you next time. So until next time, arrivederci.
Adios.
See you all. Bye.
Yeah.